Today, we are going to pull back the curtain on one of the most common, yet, let's be honest, misunderstood jobs out there, the manager. We're going to unpack exactly what they do all day using a framework that might totally change how you see the role. I mean, it's a real question, isn't it? You see them in meetings, you hear them on calls, but their day-to-day can feel like a total black box. Is it just about planning, delegating? Well, it turns out it's way more complex, and actually a lot more interesting than that. To really get to the bottom of this, we've got to look at the work of Henry Mintzberg. See, back in the 70s, he didn't just sit around and theorize about it. No, he actually followed managers around, observing them in their natural habitat, and what he found was incredible. They don't just manage, they're constantly jumping between 10 very specific roles. So let's dive into his framework. The brilliant thing is Mintzberg didn't just throw a list of 10 things at us. He organized them really neatly into 3 main categories, which basically gives us a map to understand a manager's entire world. And here is that map. This right here sorts all the chaos. Basically, everything a manager does can be dropped into one of these 3 buckets. Interpersonal, which is how they deal with people. Informational, how they handle information. And decisional, how they make the tough calls. We're going to walk through each one. All right, first up, the interpersonal roles. And just like the name says, this is all about people. It's the human side of management, how they interact with everyone, both inside and outside the company. Let's break down the 3 roles in this bucket. The first role is the figurehead. You can think of this as the manager acting as a symbol. You know, when they greet an important visitor or show up at the holiday party or hand out those Employee of the Month awards. Those are all ceremonial duties, and they're actually super important for representing the team. Next up, the leader. This is probably the one that pops into your head first when you think manager. This is all about motivating the team, right? Guiding them, creating a space where they can actually get good work done. It covers everything from hiring and training to just day-to-day coaching. And the third interpersonal role is the liaison. This is the manager as the ultimate networker. They build this huge web of connections, acting like a bridge between their own team and other departments, or even with contacts outside the organization. They're basically a communication hub. Okay, let's keep building on this. We've covered how managers interact with people. Now, let's get into how they process all the information they gather from those interactions, and most importantly, how they use it to make decisions. So our second category is informational. This is where the manager becomes the nerve center for the whole team. First, they act as a monitor, always scanning the environment for important info. That could be anything from industry news to what a competitor is up to. Next, they're a disseminator, taking that key info and passing it down to the team so everyone knows what's going on. And finally, they're a spokesperson, where they communicate on behalf of the team to the outside world, like giving a progress update to senior leadership. And all of that information feeds right into our third and final category, the decisional roles. This is where a manager really earns their paycheck. As an entrepreneur, they're looking for new ideas and kicking off projects to make things better. But when things go wrong, they have to switch hats and become a disturbance handler, putting out fires when a crisis hits. They're also a resource allocator, making the hard calls on who gets what, whether that's money, equipment, or even just their own time. And last but not least, they're a negotiator, stepping in to make deals and find compromises, both inside and outside the team. So, we've looked at all 10 roles across the 3 big categories. Now, let's zoom back out and put all the pieces together to really see the full picture of what a manager does. And here's the most important takeaway from all of this. A great manager isn't just a leader or just a negotiator. Their real skill is being able to flow between all 10 of these roles. They're constantly switching hats, knowing exactly which one to put on for any given situation. It's not about being one thing, it's about being the right thing at the right time. So I'll leave you with a question to think about. Picture a manager you know, maybe your own boss. Now that you have this framework, which of these 10 hats do you see them wearing most often? It's a really powerful way to understand not just what they do, but maybe what makes them so good at it.